There is an ancient secret, hidden for centuries, that few have dared to uncover. Carl Jung and Manly P. Hall dedicated their lives to understanding this hidden truth, a key to transforming the mind and soul. While Jung explored the mysteries of the unconscious and archetypes, Hall delved into esoteric wisdom and spiritual alchemy. What they discovered has the power to completely change the way you see yourself and the world. But why isn't this knowledge widely shared? Why do so many people remain trapped in patterns that prevent them from evolving? What Jung and Hall found was not just theory but a practical path to self-knowledge and the liberation of consciousness. And now you have the opportunity to understand this secret and apply it to your own life. Carl Jung and Manly P. Hall lived during a period of intense cultural and intellectual transformation. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, the world was undergoing a revolution in science, industry, and philosophy. Freud was shaping psychoanalysis, esoteric studies were gaining strength in the West, and spirituality was beginning to intertwine with psychology. Jung, initially a disciple of Freud, broke away from his mentor to explore the human psyche in a much deeper and more symbolic way. Meanwhile, Hall immersed himself in occult traditions, seeking to unravel the mysteries of alchemy, Hermetic philosophy, and the wisdom of ancient masters. Though they walked different paths, both were driven by the same purpose: to understand the secrets of the mind and soul. But what made these two thinkers stand out among so many others of their time? Jung revolutionized the understanding of the unconscious, going beyond the mechanistic view and exploring the impact of archetypes and symbols on human experience. At the same time, Hall dedicated his life to translating hidden knowledge for the modern world, making once exclusive teachings accessible to the public. Their works did not emerge by chance but from a historical context that demanded new answers to ancient questions. It was a time of discovery, where science and mysticism constantly intersected, creating fertile ground for ideas that still shape our understanding of human nature today. For those seeking to deeply understand the mind and spirit, studying Jung and Hall is essential. Imagine feeling an inner void, a restlessness you can't quite explain. Instead of looking for superficial solutions, why not explore what these masters revealed about the psyche and self-discovery? If Jung uncovered the hidden mechanisms of the mind through depth psychology, Hall provided the symbolic map for the spiritual path. And here arises an intriguing question: what happens when we combine these two perspectives? While Jung's psychology shows us the road into the unconscious, Hall's teachings provide the symbols to interpret it. Carl Jung and Manly P. Hall, though working in different fields, shared a common pursuit: self-knowledge and the discovery of profound truths about the human psyche and the cosmos. Both, in their own ways, were convinced that invisible forces shape our lives, and by understanding them, we can achieve greater integration and balance. Jung, with his deep psychoanalysis, believed that the archetypes of the collective unconscious shape our reality. Meanwhile, Hall, with his emphasis on esotericism and ancient wisdom, focused on the spiritual quest and the integration of hidden aspects of reality. What is fascinating is that, despite their different approaches, both saw the human being as a microcosm of the universe, where each individual represents something much greater. What many fail to realize is that both Jung and Hall explored, in different ways, the idea that the human unconscious is not an isolated territory but a reflection of something much broader, a field of universal forces. For Jung, archetypes are universal patterns embedded in the human psyche that influence behaviors and choices. For Hall, these same patterns exist within esoteric traditions, symbolizing the processes of spiritual transformation. Jung saw the human psyche as deeply interconnected with the collective unconscious, while Hall, through alchemy, suggested that internal alchemical processes are actually manifestations of this same cosmic interaction. The intersection between Jung's and Hall's ideas invites us to an interesting reflection. If you look at your life and notice repetitive patterns in your behaviors and choices, this could be a reflection of the collective unconscious, as Jung proposed, or a sign that you are undergoing a stage of spiritual transformation, as Hall suggested. What both perspectives share is the necessity of self-knowledge and the importance of demystifying the hidden patterns that shape our existence. So why not take a moment to observe your own thought and behavior patterns throughout the day? They might be a reflection of something profound within you, waiting to be understood and integrated. Alchemy is often associated with the transformation of base metals into gold, but this surface-level interpretation does not do justice to its true essence. Carl Jung, in his exploration of alchemy, saw it as a profound symbol of psychological transformation. For him, the real transmutation was not about precious metals but the transmutation of the human psyche, transforming the dark and unconscious aspects of ourselves into something more luminous and integrated. This process of inner transformation is what Jung called individuation, a path of self-discovery in which a person becomes increasingly true to themselves, drawing closer to their authentic self. Manly P. Hall, on the other hand, viewed alchemy in a more spiritual sense, as a journey of soul elevation. He believed that just as alchemists sought to turn lead into gold, human beings should strive to transform their own lives, reaching higher levels of understanding and consciousness. Jung and Hall, despite their different approaches, converged on the idea that alchemy is a powerful symbol of both spiritual and psychological transformation. For Hall, alchemy represented a process of purification, where gold symbolized wisdom and spiritual fulfillment. For Jung, gold was a symbol of the self, the fully integrated and whole being, achieved through the process of individuation. Though their language and focus differed, both perspectives ultimately described the same inner journey, the pursuit of wholeness, the unity of psyche and spirit. And it is fascinating to note that while medieval alchemy was dismissed by modern science, it remains one of the most powerful metaphors we have for personal growth. Now, imagine for a moment that you're going through a difficult time, feeling trapped in a repetitive cycle of emotions or behaviors. Psychological alchemy, as proposed by Jung, could be the key to understanding this cycle. Instead of resisting the process or trying to change your reality externally, what if you turned inward? Ask yourself, which aspects of my psyche need transformation? This is not an easy task. It often requires courage to face what lies hidden. However, just as the alchemist seeks to transmute base metals into gold, you can transform your struggles into wisdom by exploring and integrating the hidden aspects of your psyche. The concept of individuation, proposed by Carl Jung, is fundamental to understanding the process of self-discovery and personal growth. Jung saw individuation as the journey through which a person becomes who they truly are, integrating all aspects of their psyche, both conscious and unconscious. The core idea is that we are not just what we see or what others perceive in us. We are also made up of hidden aspects, such as our shadow, anima and animus, and the archetypes of the collective unconscious. Individuation is, therefore, the path toward greater internal harmony, where all these elements are integrated, allowing the individual to become more complete and authentic. Manly P. Hall, in his studies of the great work, saw it as a symbolic representation of spiritual transformation that mirrors Jung's process of individuation. The great work, or opus magnum, is a central concept in alchemy, referring to the transformation of the individual, not just on the material level, but on the spiritual level as well. For Hall, this work was not merely about the transmutation of substances but the quest for deep self-knowledge, the awakening of consciousness, and the fulfillment of human potential. In many of his writings, Hall described the goal of the great work as esoteric knowledge leading to enlightenment, a concept deeply connected to Jung's idea of achieving the totality of the self, where the individual finally recognizes themselves as whole. Applying this to your own self-discovery, imagine what it would be like to understand and integrate your deepest parts. If you see yourself as a work in progress, where different facets of your personality are still coming together, you may actually be experiencing your own great work, just as Jung described the path of individuation. This is not a quick or simple process, but by allowing yourself to explore these hidden parts of yourself with compassion and patience, you can undergo a profound and lasting transformation. Self-knowledge and self-acceptance are, without a doubt, the foundation for a more fulfilling and authentic life. For centuries, alchemists, philosophers, and initiates have spoken of a final secret, a key capable of transforming both mind and soul. This secret was never hidden in books or distant temples. It has always been present, concealed within the symbols of alchemy and depth psychology. Carl Jung and Manly P. Hall, each in their own way, arrived at the same conclusion. The greatest secret is not something external to be found but an inner truth to be remembered. What the ancient masters taught is that man is both the creator and the alchemist of his own reality. Jung called this process individuation, the journey of integrating all parts of oneself and reaching a state of wholeness. Hall, in turn, found this truth in spiritual alchemy, where the transmutation of lead into gold symbolized the elevation of consciousness. Both discovered that the real secret is that the key to transformation has always been within us. The gold of the ancient alchemists was not physical but a symbol of inner enlightenment, an awakening to a new perception of reality. If this secret is ignored, a person continues to live a fragmented existence, trapped by their own conditioning and unconscious patterns. But those who dare to face it, those who commit to integrating their shadow and recognizing their true potential, discover something that few ever achieve: inner freedom, self-mastery, and the realization that external reality is merely a reflection of the inner world. This is the true legacy of the ancient masters. The legacy of Carl Jung and Manly P. Hall continues to resonate across various fields of contemporary thought, from psychology to esotericism. Jung's ideas on the collective unconscious, archetypes, and the process of individuation have been fundamental in understanding the human psyche, not only in psychology but also in the arts, literature, and even alternative therapeutic approaches. His vision of integrating the conscious and unconscious aspects of oneself has become a foundation for many therapists and spiritual seekers. On the other hand, Hall, with his emphasis on esoteric wisdom, continues to inspire those who seek self-knowledge through ancient and hidden sources. His teachings on the great work and spiritual transformation have been a key for those who wish to go beyond the surface of material reality and explore the depths of the self. The impact of their work is undeniable, reflected in how their ideas have been integrated into modern thought. Jung, through his research on mental processes and archetypes, provided a framework for many contemporary psychologists and philosophers striving to understand the complexity of human experience. Meanwhile, Manly P. Hall, by bringing esoteric knowledge to the modern world, helped spark a growing interest in deeper spiritual practices such as meditation, spiritual alchemy, and the pursuit of enlightenment. These practices, once restricted to closed circles of initiates, are now accessible to anyone seeking to expand their consciousness and grasp the true nature of reality. Today, as we revisit the teachings of Jung and Hall, we can see how their ideas remain alive and relevant in our pursuit of self-knowledge and personal development. Whether through Jung's depth psychology or Hall's esoteric revelations, both offer valuable tools for those who wish not only to understand themselves but also to transform their lives in profound and lasting ways. And for you, who seek this kind of transformation, the question is, are you ready to look within and apply these teachings to your own journey? This is the true legacy left by these masters, the opportunity to change your life through self-knowledge. Now that you've explored the connections between Jung and Manly P. Hall, the question remains, what will you do with this knowledge? True transformation doesn't come just from understanding these ideas, but from applying them in your daily life. Are you ready to look within, recognize your hidden patterns, and embark on your own great work? If you want to go even deeper on this path, I invite you to check out my ebook, Alchemy and Archetypes, Exploring Inner Transformation Through Jungian Psychology. Inside, you'll find practical exercises that reveal the secrets of Jungian psychology and how to integrate them into your life. And if this content resonated with you, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. That way, you'll continue exploring these mysteries and learning how to apply them to unlock your true potential.